behind the travel chaos, instead saying an unexpected technical incident in the channel is to blame for the delay. Eurotunnel disagrees, saying the incident in the tunnel had absolutely nothing to do with the problems at the port of Dover. The UK government, meanwhile, blaming France for the delays. Dover port officials urging French colleagues to adequately resource the border. And this all comes after a summer filled with rail strikes and airport delays. So what does it mean for the travel industry? Well, Julia Lo BueSaid is CEO at Advantage Travel Partnership, the UK's largest independent travel agent and travel management company consortium, and joins me now. Julia, what's your assessment of the reason things have gone so badly wrong today?
Good evening. Lovely to talk to you. And it's just a very frustrating day, isn't it, for all families and travellers that are looking to get away. And as you quite rightly pointed out there, we're not quite able to put our finger on the root cause of the issue. A lot of blame going on from both sides, but still caught up in this. So clearly a lot of very disappointed people trying to get away on their holidays.
The MP for Calais says the issues will happen again, and I quote, because of Brexit. What's your thoughts?
I think what we mustn't forget, or what we can't forget, is since Brexit, we cannot just sail through the channel. We can't just wave our passports like we used to do it and go through. We do have to have passport checks now. They have to be stamped. Also worth remembering, to enter France, we do need to have COVID passes, so proof of COVID vaccination. That still is mandatory. So there are a number of extra checks now that have to take place, both Brexit and COVID, which clearly a couple of years ago weren't there. So that in itself, if you think about the impact that has at the border, that in itself is creating extra pressure for a resource there.
Meanwhile, Julia, travellers being warned things could get worse over the weekend. This all on top of rail strikes, airport disruption. Does this mean people are less willing to travel this summer?
I think the reality is what we have seen. I mean, in the vast majority of cases, travel is happening quite seamlessly. Unfortunately, like today and like some of the airport scenes we've seen, these issues are occurring. And absolutely, what it is doing is anyone who hasn't booked, are really taking the view of, do they really want to, be caught up in this? Is it really worth it? So there are, whilst there is a pent-up demand and a lot of people travelling, there are clearly a lot of people that are looking at these scenes and thinking, I don't really want to put myself through this. So it is inevitably creating an issue. Saying that, there is a huge amount of demand, so much so that, as you've said there and highlighted, the industry at some points has struggled to meet that demand.
What, if anything, can be done to ensure these situations are avoided going forward?
I think as we move out to the peak summer season, as we get into September, we will start to see things settle down as the volume starts to diminish, as the school holidays go back. Travel has really only restarted since the end of March. That's when the UK government removed all COVID restrictions for entering the UK. And it's really only since then that we've been able to restart the sector. And that's been on the back of half-term, Easter holidays, now summer holidays. So we haven't had a period of calm to try and get the industry back up to where it needs to be after essentially a 2-year shutdown. So things will improve. They will get better. It's going to take a bit of time. As I say, we have Brexit to deal with, and we had COVID restrictions still in place in some areas, which create a bottleneck in some places.
OK, we'll leave it there, Julia. Good to speak to you. Thank you for joining us. Julia Lo BueSaid, the CEO of Advantage Travel Partnership, sounding fairly optimistic there.